Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So, got a little video here. I usually give my little skit spiel. At this point, I don't really care. It should be like some regulation that makes them put it if it's a skit or not. But I'm going to allow you to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about it. Here we go.
Like, he don't even know it. Like, he just ruined the rest of his life. God damn, look at this thing. Look at this thing. He knows it's bad. Why are you doing this, bro? Yeah, is that this? See how she's doing? Oh, shit.
My God. Ooh, what? Friend! I'm so sorry. I
What the fuck just happened?
She took the money.
Why did you say you keep saying no? How you keep saying no for? I ain't did nothing wrong. I ain't did nothing right. How you say no?
Joe, why you say no?
I mean, this was a better place. I know he did Walmart last time. I mean, but this a lot better place. You know what? I don't even want the balloons no more. You don't need the dirty balloons no more. It's her birthday.
So, here's my thing. This is likely a skit. But what it promotes is the continued trajectory of the transaction that is highly promoted in the Black community. He's playing the role of a desperate simp. Okay? Because what's wrong with this picture? Aside from the way she quote unquote rejected his proposal, was the fact that he was doing it with $100,000 supposedly in his hand. That's the first problem. You got to pay this woman in order for her to tolerate you. So not only are these types of things a promotion of the transaction on the female's part to be with a guy that's gonna spend money on you and all of this type of stuff, but this is not a man that you actually want. You don't really feel any love for him. You don't really feel any true attraction for this man. You are literally there because he's spending a certain amount of money and he does it often. And he'll give you the things that you ask for without any requirement from you as a woman. That's the other part. It's teaching both the men and the women that as long as a woman looks good enough, she can actually be the worst possible hyena that she can be. And a man will shower her and treat her very well, not only monetarily, but he'll love her. He will love her as well, and not just treat her as a whore or as a piece of meat without any requirement from her. He doesn't require her to be anything. He doesn't require, all of those standards for good women doesn't apply here, right? That's the point of these skits. It doesn't apply. As long as a woman can look a certain way, and she have a nice body and everything, she doesn't have to come with anything other than that. She can be, hell on wheels. She can argue. She can be toxic. She can be, this woman is not listening to anything, not him. She's not listening to him. There may be a man somewhere that could tell her what to do, but it ain't him, obviously. And even the guy that can quote unquote tell her what to do, it's not coming from a submitted place. It's coming from a, I'm just so smitten with you and you sex me a certain kind of way and all of this other type of stuff. This is a continued conversation about how to be in the transaction. This has nothing to do with love or marriage or proposals or a broken heart. This has everything to do with teaching young women that her integrity as a woman doesn't mean anything. Means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And really, men should have no standards and no integrity either. Try to marry a woman that is most obviously not there for you and don't want you and don't like you and don't love you. Go all out for this woman, because this is this is the most that you can expect. This is the most that you could possibly get. A woman that looks good, she's gonna be a hyena. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And that's just it. It is what it is, which doesn't leave any space for the lioness. In these conversations, these trajectories of these skits and the things that are promoted on social media, the lioness doesn't exist in any of these scenarios, which perpetuates the concept that there is no such thing as a woman who is actually wife material, and that these are the only women that are out there, women like her. And the most that you can hope for is that she look a certain way, because all of them are going to be hyenas. And the sad part about it is it's enough hyenas, right? It's enough. It's more than enough of them. But the lioness is marginalized to such an extent that it's viewed as her being in such a minority that she's not worth talking about. And if the lioness was in the majority, it would be so common that she's not worth talking about. If you understand what I mean. So in either case, the lioness has no value, because there's never a focal point on a wife being a woman being a wife unless she's going to be ridiculed. Women who are wives, there's always this very, very negative spin. Usually these narratives are spun by hyenas that aren't wives. And the negative viewpoint of women in marriage, women who are being wives in marriages, it's like that's the most horrible thing that you could ever be in a marriage. The narrative is it's not worth being a lioness because nobody actually wants you anyway. You're not a part of the majority, so therefore you're not worthy to be spoken of or acknowledged at all. You don't quote unquote win anything because all of the men are going for the baddest hyena that they can get. I just don't like, regardless of whether these are skits or not, I just don't like the consistent conversation about, because we're never going to change anything about the women, about the men, about the dynamics between Black men and Black women if we perpetuate the very stereotypes and the very things that we are saying is actually wrong with us. If we don't like hyenas and we don't like how they do and we don't like how they behave, whether they're in romantic relationships with men or friendships with other women, or how, because they move wrong in every situation, not just the romantic ones. If we don't like them, then we're going to have to start valuing when the lioness speaks up and says, no, the women's standard is supposed to be this. This is what you look for good women. This is how good women are supposed to behave. This is how we're supposed to see things. This is how we're supposed to move. But too many times, the voice of the good woman is drowned out both by hyenas, both male and female. So what she says doesn't matter. Only what hoes want and think and need actually matter. That's what these skits are saying. That's what I get out of them. And then it's telling black men that you got to deal with it. That there is no hope. There's no other woman that you could deal with. There are no other types of women. There are no other cultures of women. There are no other women with different behavior. Nothing. And it's sad. Because there's no hope for nobody. And I'm gonna say this, I won't for one refuse that. I refuse that. There's no hope for black people. The only thing is we gotta stop wishing and hoping that the boneyard changes. That's the problem. We keep on losing hope because we keep trying to think that the boneyard is supposed to change, and it's not. It's absolutely not going to change. The boneyard does not change. So as long as we keep our focus attuned to the boneyard and hoping and wishing and praying and, oh my God, you know what I'm saying, that's what's going on over there, then that's what's going on over there. We have to become comfortable as people with leaving the ones who are not furthering our positivity, to leave them behind. But we don't like to be uncomfortable. Or at least we like the devil that we know. There's something in the dysfunction that we like. And until we realize what that is, we're going to keep on being involved or adjacent to the dysfunction. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.